Hi, I'm Chris, founder of the MentorWell. My daughter Maddie is my co-pilot on this journey. She's the reason I do this work, the reason I'll never stop doing this work. Maddie was navigating her parents' divorce, new schools, new homes, new friends. That's a lot of pressure for a teenager. But here's what no one taught her: how to handle her emotions, how to self-regulate, how to recognize what she was feeling before it became too heavy to carry. She needed someone who had been through it, someone who'd lived through a nasty divorce, someone who felt the pressure of school, the burnout from competitive swimming, the weight of the world on their shoulders, and came through the other side. Not a clinician, not someone trying to fix her, just an empathetic, emotionally intelligent adult who would listen first, who wouldn't jump into advice or fix-it mode, who could share relatable stories and help her see a path forward. Teens open up when they're actually heard, without judgment, without consequences. Maddie could have benefited from a mentor like that. Instead, it became too much, and she decided there was no other way out. She died by suicide at 14. A big part of me died that day. That's why I built the MentorWell. I started with mentorship because I believed and still believe that most teens don't need fixing. They need someone who sees them, someone outside the family who can help them recognize their own patterns before things get too heavy. Mentors aren't clinicians. They're empathetic, emotionally intelligent adults who've navigated their own challenges and come through the other side. They have relatable stories. They listen first. They don't jump into fix-it mode. Because teens open up when they're heard, without judgment, without consequences. But as I listened to parents, I realized mentorship wasn't enough. They kept asking the same 3 questions. What am I actually looking at? What do I do about it? And where do I go for help? So we created Lifeline Parent Workshops, real education, not generic advice, real tools to recognize what withdrawal actually looks like, how to start conversations that don't shut down, when to escalate and when to wait. Then we included the expedited clinical referral network, because waiting 6 months for a therapy appointment can be the difference between early intervention and a full-blown crisis. Days, not months. Real providers, real availability. And when parents told me they felt isolated, guilty, and alone, we created When Something Feels Off, our parent support group, because no one should carry this themselves. Here's what matters. Families don't need to wait for crisis to ask for help. The earlier you notice, the earlier you act, the better the outcomes. We meet families where they are. No fear, no shame, just care. My boys, Zach and Sawyer, are actively involved in this work too. It's personal for all of us, because you don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to trust what you're already noticing, and we're here to help you do that.